Just because this is served in a Moroccan tagine and happens to feature dried apricots, don't mistake this for an authentic Moroccan dish. The flavor is very probably unlike anything you've ever tasted before. The reason is the unlikely exotic spice blend of Sichuan peppercorns with fenugreek, which combine to produce an intriguing kind of floral heat, if you can imagine such a thing. These two spices are virtually never seen together in other dishes. Like many of my other recipes, this one has been optimized for restaurant service. Ideally, it's prepared ahead of time and then either reheated in a commercial steam oven or with the tagine itself as the vessel for reheating. Now the first step, as in many recipes, is to toast the spices. I'm starting with a fenugreek. This is a very tricky spice to toast. It's unusual because it goes from being much milder to being very bitter and strong. And the amount of toasting has to be watched very carefully. As soon as it darkens slightly, you're done. The next spice to toast is the Sichuan peppercorns. Always toast these with coarse salt in the pan. It's an old Chinese trick, and it actually produces better results. I can't tell you why, but maybe the salt helps shield the peppercorns from the direct contact with the pan. But this is absolutely the best way to go. Also helps you tell when they're done, because you can not only smell the aroma, but you can see that the salt is picking up some of the color from the Sichuan peppercorns. And that's about how much we need of toasting of this. And then finally we have the chili pods and the cinnamon stick. And these you can, not so sensitive, just obviously don't let them burn. Keep an eye on those chilies. See, it's just already starting to get dark. And you probably want to use tongs for this. This is extremely hot on the bottom of the pan. And that's enough. That's basically enough. Some crack. We don't want to burn it. Good color on those chilies. Okay. I'm adding the ground spices to this too, simply because, and other things, simply because I want a homogeneous mixture. They're already basically ground up anyway. So this is the 15 grams of brown sugar. That was the nutmeg there. Now I'm going to add the garlic powder to this. And all of this mixture goes into the spice grinder, along with the cinnamon sticks and everything else, and grind it up to a fine powder. So I've got just barely under a kilogram of bone-in chicken thighs. Normally I would put some work into taking these apart and at least cleaning the little bones, but since these are going to be roasted on the bone and the meat's going to be pulled off anyway, it really doesn't make any difference. You don't need to do that now. You're going to get all the bones out later anyway. So I put all of the seasoning mix on this, and I'm just going to massage it around and try to get it in the chicken as much as I can. And then this is just going to be refrigerated in this dry rub for a couple hours is enough. You could probably go 45 minutes if you had to. You could also leave it overnight. That would be fine. Yeah, the aroma at this point, even before we put it into the refrigerator, is pretty intense and pretty powerful. You know already you've got something pretty special going on here. You can imagine this with the apricots already. Here's what it looks like after it comes out. Okay, you can use fresh oil for this if you want to, or you can use the pan drippings. Guess which one's going to have more flavor. Of course this isn't especially healthy, but it's going to be a lot tastier. So we're going to start heating this oil, or in Jewish terms, schmaltz. That's what they call this sort of chicken drippings, and I put some shallots in. It's actually one shallot, big shallot that's been chopped up. We're going to start frying it. Shallots are cooking away over a medium heat. I've got 150 grams of the dried apricots. You can cut these as small as you want them. About quarters is good. You don't want them too small. You don't want them. Okay. Shallots taking on some color. Keep them going here. Now we're going to add dried apricots to the pan. We want to cook these apricots in the fat a little bit. We're not just looking for them to rehydrate. We actually want to get a little bit of caramelization on them, just a little bit. We do not burn them, of course. Do not burn them. We want to make sure that they've actually got some cooked surface on them, and then, which is going to take 4 or 5 minutes. Now you're going to add chicken stock and the red bell pepper. 120 grams of red bell pepper that's been chopped up. I'm going to stir this just a little bit here. Then, now we're going to add the sugar. And the cider vinegar. Stir this and reduce it until it thickens up. Okay, it's noticeably thicker. It's been 6-7 minutes, and you don't want to reduce this to where it's a tar. I mean, it's still a sauce in the end, but you want it to be thickened up like this. So now we're going to plate it. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.